Good evening, everyone. This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust Latur MS India organizing daily international webinar series. In this series, speakers are invited from India and abroad. The topics related to education, law, finance, health, environmental science, technology, all topics are accepted here. This series is running under Women Empowerment Series. If you see the list of speakers, mostly they are women resource persons are invited from India and abroad. Every day we are enriching in the knowledge on various topics delivered by the speakers as per their expertise. Today on 28th August, we have invited Amarjit Kaur ma'am, who is Assistant Professor, Delhi Institute of Higher Education, DIHE, Noida. And the topic is personal finance and wealth creation. I welcome you, ma'am, from my organization and from all the participants, those who are joined here. Our Assistant Professor, Amarjit Kaur Madam is Assistant Professor of Commerce. She is UGC NET qualified, having specialization in accounts, finance, CA Inter, MCOM years. She is having 9 years of experience of teaching, and she is a mutual fund expert and also academic mentor. We are very happy, ma'am, from today to listen from you the personal finance and wealth creation. I welcome you, ma'am, again, and welcome all the participants, those who are joined here. Happy Rakhi Purnima to you all. And I request, ma'am, to start your speech now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Amarjit Kaur, Assistant Professor in Commerce at DIHE Noida. And I'm delighted to be with you today to discuss a topic that is not only relevant, but extremely important for each one of us: personal finance and wealth creation. Let me begin with a simple question. How many of us work hard to earn money, but have never really been taught how to manage it? We spent years learning how to earn a living, build a career, and increase our income. But very often we are not taught how to budget our money, save systematically, invest wisely, manage financial risk, and creating long-term wealth. And that is exactly why personal finance is so important. Whether you're a student, beginning your financial journey, a young professional receiving your first salary, a parent planning for your family's future, or someone who's already investing, financial planning is something that affects all of us. Today, I don't want this to be just a theoretical session. I want it to be a practical and interactive conversation. We will explore some very important questions. How much should we save? Where should we invest? What is the power of compounding? How can we protect ourselves from financial risk? And most importantly, how can we turn our income into long-term wealth? Because wealth creation is not about just getting financial protection, but it needs consistency and giving our money enough time to grow. My objective today is simple. I want each one of you to leave this session with a better understanding of your money and hopefully a few practical steps that you can start implementing from today. And I would encourage everyone to participate, ask questions, and share your experiences. There are no wrong questions when it comes to learning about your own money. So let's begin this journey from earning money to managing our money, from managing money to investing, and from investing to creating wealth. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Let's start. I'm sharing my screen with you. Do let me know if it is audible, if it is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Is it visible? Okay, great. Let's start with personal finance and wealth. And that is the topic which is, required by every one of us to learn, that how we can manage our personal wealth. First of all, let me start
Ma'am,
with this.
just you remove that block. Okay.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay.
It's better to shift it in corner, so it will enable. We are unable to read. Okay.
Okay, sir. I've shifted in the corner. Is it okay now,
Yeah.
sir? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so let's start with personal finance. As we all know, what is personal finance? It is managing our own money, right? Saving and investment, right? How do we save? How we invest our money? And it's very important topic. So personal finance basically deals with how do we control unnecessary expenses, how we can encourage our regular savings, and how we can reduce financial stress, how we can manage our debt, how we can fix our financial goals, and how we can build our retirement and emergency funds in the long run. So, if I talk about personal finance, it is just the management of our income, spending, saving, investing, and borrowing. We have to create our wealth, we have to protect our wealth, and we have to grow our wealth over the time, because every one of us want financial independence in the long run. And how we can do that? So, can you tell me what is the right age to retire? Anyone? Is there any right age to
Within
retire?
55 to 60 years.
Okay, 55 to 60 years. But maybe in India, we think that 50 to 60 years is an age we can retire and spend our living peacefully, right? But there is no particular age of retirement. If you are financial independent, you can retire now only. At the age of 35 or 40, you can retire. If you have sufficient funds for survival and for your long run, right? So you can retire at 30 also, you can retire at 40 also, because if you are financially independent, you can pursue your passions, right? So when is the right age to retire? It depends upon person to person. Are they financially independent? And how can we say that we are financially independent? We have to check our net worth. Net worth means my assets, my liabilities. If I deduct liabilities from my assets, it becomes my net worth. What are my assets? The amount of money I'm having in my bank account, the investments which are made, whether in property, vehicles, equity shares, mutual funds, etc. Right? That tells us our net worth. And I think so every person should assess their net worth every 3 months, so that they are able to know where they stand, right? Next is, there are 4 basic steps in managing our wealth. First is earning money. Everyone is earning money through these 3. First one is job, second any profession, and third is business, right? These are the basic 3 activities through which we can earn money. And after that, first step is earning money, and second is managing money. How we spend, how we save our money, that is known as managing our money. And the third phase is growing money. How we can grow our money, how we can achieve our goals in the long run of financial independence, right? And the last one is protecting our money. So these are my 4 steps: earning money, managing money effectively by using various steps, growing money, when we are putting our money in real estate, equity, mutual funds, we can grow money because over the time, their value appreciate. For example, if we have made an investment in property, it appreciates over a period of time and it creates a wealth for us. If I talk about the prices in 1950 of property, it was very less as compared to today, right? So real estate is also a sector where we can grow our money. And next is protecting money, because protection is very much required. Today, I will tell you the key components of personal finance, which includes how do we manage our income, how we budget, how we prepare budgets, how we save, how we invest, how do we manage our debt, insurance, tax planning, retirement planning. So these are the basic components of personal finance. Okay. Before going ahead and talking about saving and investment, I want that this is the first step in managing our personal finance, and that is build your emergency foundation first. The very first step is to build your emergency funds. What do you mean by emergency funds? Emergency funds are required, for example, if there is a job loss or there is a medical emergency in the family and you're not having sufficient funds, what will happen? You have to liquidate your investments, right? And that too at the worst possible time, maybe, right? That will not give you sufficient returns. So the very first step is you have to build your emergency funds. And what do you mean by emergency funds? That fund which can be used in case of emergency in the family, right? So you have to build at least 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in your emergency fund. If you haven't maintained emergency fund, first of all, you have to sell those investments which you have built with your funds. And secondly, if you don't have any funds for emergency, then you have to borrow it from others at a high rate of interest. So these are the two drawbacks due to which emergency funds are very much required. Right? So minimum आपके पास 3 से 6 महीने तक के फंड्स होने चाहिए ताकि अगर फैमिली में कोई भी इमरजेंसी आए तो आप उनको मीट कर सको. Right? So you must have emergency funds. This is the first foundation of managing your personal finance. Next is sequence of steps in wealth creation. How do we create wealth? The very first thing is, how do you manage risk? Our life is very risky. We don't know what is going to happen next day. Right? Today we are alive, maybe tomorrow we are not. So that risk of life has to be insured. So the very first step is you should build your emergency fund. And second, you should take insurance. Either it can be term insurance or mediclaim, so that it can give financial support to you and your family in the long run. So very first step is to cover the risk by building emergency funds and taking insurance in your life. Third step is debt trap. Maybe you have taken loans to build your house, to take a car, or any other thing. So you have to come from that debt trap. And the next step, fourth step, is savings. When you are out of debt trap, then the very next step is savings. You slowly start saving your money, either in bank or in the form of FDs. Right? And after saving your amount, the next step is how do you create wealth from that savings? Because if we save our amount in FD, or bank account. If you are saving amount in bank, they are giving you hardly 2 to 3% rate of interest, which is far less than the rate of inflation we are suffering or we are having in our economy, right? And the last step, that is fifth, is wealth creation. How we can create wealth? We can create wealth through investments in equity, mutual funds, debentures, government securities, bonds. So these are the sequence of steps in wealth creation. First of all, you have to cover your risk by taking insurance, by building emergency fund, by coming out of debt trap, then savings, and then finally moving to wealth creation. Next is, what are our financial goals? Every person has different financial goals. So everyone is having diverse financial goals. Example, maybe I'm having a financial goal of building a home, building a house. Maybe I'm having a financial goal of taking a car. Or maybe I'm having a financial goal of educating my children. Or I can plan for the retirement. So you can have different financial goals. For example, here, if you can see in the picture, there are two persons. First one is saving 20 lakhs in 8 years for their financial goal. And second one is saving 55 lakh in 5 years. So whenever we are setting our financial goals, we have to decide three things: the quantum of funds required, how much funds are required for that particular financial goal. Second is estimated time, in how much time you are going to collect those funds and you are able to achieve those financial goals. And third is your current age. What is your present age? Right? So these are the three things which are required when you are building your financial goals, right? These goals can be anything: buying a diamond ring, buying a car, building a property, build for your emergency funds, or for your mediclaim or your health, right? Now, first, very important thing is, how do we spend? Everyone knows that we are earning, and we are earning very hard, right? Every one of us. So first thing which we need to learn is, how do we spend our money? Because we are earning, and income minus expense is what? We are saving. And that savings goes into investments. So one major component is expenditure. How we are spending our money. That everyone should learn. If I talk about, suppose a person is having 50,000 rupees monthly income, and he's working 8 hours a day and total 26 days a month. Right? So overall, you're working 200 hours monthly. Right? You're working so hard to earn money. And you're going to a mall with your family. Suppose you like a jacket over there and you want to buy that. And these days, we are just spending money without thinking. We are purchasing those commodities which we don't need. And we have seen a jacket in a mall and it's very nice and we want to buy it. It's not a need, but we want to buy it because we like it. And if I talk about the price of that jacket is 5,000 rupees. 5,000, and we are spending it. That I want to buy it. I have purchased this jacket for 5,000 rupees. Now, when we are spending that amount of money to purchase that jacket, can we compare our money with time? Whenever next time you're going to a mall or any other place and you are spending your money rashly, so just analyze that what time you are spending to earn this money. So for 5,000 rupees, if you are getting 1 hour, 250 rupees, you are paying for 20 hours of your hard work in just a single piece of jacket. You know, for that jacket, you are, spending your 20 hours. So whenever you are buying anything, just understand how much time, how much hours of your hard work is paying that. So you have to balance it out. And if you think it's worth spending, then do spend. But if it is not worth spending, don't spend your money. Because normally we buy those items which we don't need. Right? So this habit is bad in the long run, right? Next is whenever we are going to purchase some household things or household items. So we should know how to plan your monthly household purchases. These days we are going to malls or DMart to purchase our household items, right? But we are not making a shopping list. We are just going in whatever thing we like, we are putting it in our basket, right? So before going to any DMart or any of this place, we have to make our shopping list first, so that we should know that what things are required to purchase, right? Next is, as said by Will Rogers, too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want, to impress people that they don't like. Sometimes we just make a purchase, that to show off, maybe. So that's not needed. Purchase only those things which you require. It happens, many of us are purchasing those items, right? So purchase each and every item wisely. And the next step in managing your personal finances, plan your taxes efficiently. This is very much required. If your income is above the tax slab, right? So you have to manage your taxes efficiently. You can take the help of a CA or anyone else who knows how to manage these taxes. And the third most important step is taking term insurance or medical claim policy. Term insurance is required to protect your family. For example, today is a special day for each one of us, Raksha Bandhan, right? In Raksha Bandhan, we protect our family, sisters or brothers, right? If we talk about brothers, they protect their sisters, right? But Raksha means protection. So after your life, what thing is protecting your family? That is term insurance, right? So this is a must. Fourth important thing is we should take or invest amount in such assets which appreciate with time. And we should not invest our funds in the items which depreciate with time. If I talk about car is a depreciating asset whose value depreciates over time. So car is a depreciating asset. If you are spending, 2 crores or 3 crores on car, that is worthless. Why so? Because it's a depreciating asset. In the long run, it's not giving you anything. But if you are investing the same amount of funds in building a home, then it will give you a capital gain, or it will create a wealth over a long period of time. So invest your funds in appreciating assets rather than depreciating assets. So next time when you are purchasing depreciating asset, do remember this. Are you buying a appreciating asset or you are buying a depreciating asset? So what you will choose? I think most of us will choose appreciating asset, right? Why it is an appreciating asset? For example, you don't have funds to purchase a property, but you have purchased this property out of loan. You've taken a loan to purchase this property. And let's take an example. You have taken a loan of 10 lakh for 1 year you are paying 8% interest. That is 80,000. And from that property, you're earning rental income worth rupees 15,000 per month. And if I talk about in a year, you are earning 1,80,000 and you are paying interest of only 80,000. Still, you are generating net profit of 1 lakh from this appreciating asset, right? So to build these appreciating assets, you can take a loan if you don't have funds. Because in the long run, it's giving you something in return. Next step in personal finance is the 50-30-20 budget rule. What do you mean by 50-30-20 budget rule? We have to divide our entire income into 3 categories. The very first categories are needs, the basic necessities, food, housing, utilities, transport, etc. And second categories are wants. Example, we want to shop, we want to travel with our family, we want some entertainment in our life, we want to go for a movie. So those are our wants. We can spend 30% of our amount in that, right? And the third phase is 20% of our amounts we can set aside for savings and investments, so that we can build our emergency fund, we can invest, we can plan for our retirement, etc. So percentage can be adjusted according to individual circumstances. So emergency fund is very much required. And then whenever we are setting our financial goals, we have to decide we are setting these financial goals for short term, medium term, or long term. For short term, I can say you want to go for a vacation. For example, you want to go to Bali, right? That is a short term financial goal. Medium term, you want funds for education, to purchase a vehicle, for making down payment for your home. So those are my medium term goals. And third one, long term goals, which you want for a long term. For example, I want to plan my retirement. I want some funds for my children's education. I want financial independence in the long run. So these financial goals have to be divided into 2 parts. What are our short-term goals? What are our medium-term goals? And what are our long-term goals? Next is saving versus investment. Saving is generally when we are keeping our money in saving accounts or FD. There, the risk is very low, but the liquidity is very high. We can take our funds anytime when we need, right? So it is preserving our capital. But in case of investment, it is giving me higher returns, but the risk is also high. We can beat inflation rate also. For example, if I talk about the current inflation rate is 6%. So if you want to beat that inflation, we should invest our funds in stock, mutual funds, bonds, etc. So there is a difference between saving and investing. Most of the people save funds, but if they want larger returns, higher returns, they have to invest their funds. So if I talk about the safest 5 investing tools, that are FD, public provident fund, post office savings, government bonds, T-bills, debt mutual funds. These are safest methods to invest our funds. So we are having different types of investment. Either it's PPF, RD, mutual funds, equity, bonds, gold, estate. we Indians mostly we make investment in gold, FD, right? But those are investments which are giving, stable incomes. But we should have certain amount of fund that is invested in mutual funds also. Stock also. If you are not having knowledge about stocks, then you can invest in mutual funds through SIP, systematic investment plans. What is the power of compounding? For example, compounding means when we are earning returns on both original and accumulated returns. It can create or increase our wealth in the long run. So regular investing over many years is very much required. Let me give you an example. For example, I've invested 40,000 rupees first year. And I'm investing 40,000 rupees every year. And if I talk about after 20 years, I've invested how much? 80,000. Right? 40,000 into 20, I've invested 80,000. But I'm getting a return of 25,21,197. After investing 80,000, if I talk about 20 years of investment, I'm getting a total return of 25 lakh. How much extra I'm getting here? That is the power of compounding. Here, what I'm doing is, if I talk about first year, I've invested only 40,000. I'm getting a 10% return, that is 4,000. And the total wealth I've created is 44,000. And after that, the whole amount, 44,000, along with the interest is invested. Right? And it is giving me 10% return at the rate 10%, 8,400. Now that total wealth of 92,600, I've invested again. Right? And this wealth is accumulating over the years. So I have just invested 80,000 and it's giving me return of 25 lakh over a span of 20 years. So that is how we create our wealth. Next is our debt management. How we manage our debt. We should borrow funds only when it is required. And whenever you are borrowing funds, please analyze the interest rates while borrowing. If you are having your EMIs, you should pay on time to avoid interest charges or penalty charges. If you are using credit cards, then avoid excessive credit card usage. And you should maintain your healthy credit profile in the long run. You can manage your insurance, and risk management is also very much required. You can take health insurance, life insurance. On property, you can take property insurance that can protect your wealth in the long run. Tax planning, you should have sufficient financial knowledge about deductions, exemptions, and tax efficient options. And if you're not having that knowledge, you can consult anyone who is expert in that. Next is, what is wealth management? Wealth management is basically a financial service. It is designed for individuals and families, that how they manage their wealth, how they grow their wealth in the long run. That is wealth management. How we can create wealth? We can invest in mutual funds. Okay, can I know how many of us who are attending this webinar are already investing in some sort of securities? Anyone? Okay. So you are investing. May I know in which securities? Stocks, share market, mutual funds, SIPs. Okay.
Share market, ma'am. Share market.
Share market.
Mutual funds and equities. Mutual fund and equities.
Mutual funds and equities. And which one you find better? Stock market or
Both are
mutual
there.
funds? Both.
Yeah, both are good because it is having its own value. But if you continue or hold that particular equity for a long time, then after 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, or 50 years, it will reach 100 times of that particular equity share, ma'am.
Yes.
If I purchase any share, equity share, that is of 700 rupees. Now today's its price is 4,000 or 5,000 rupees. So for of equity market, but you should hold on that particular shares for a particular period of time. And for mutual fund, it is okay if it is tax saving. If it is having a protection like tax protection, and if it is good, if you are going choosing a good companies mutual fund, then it's okay, ma'am, to bear that particular mutual fund for 5 to 10 years, ma'am.
Right. So, as sir has said, investing in stock market and mutual funds is required if you want to build your wealth. And another option is ETF. ETF is basically exchange traded funds which invest in 3 commodities: equity stock, commodities, and fixed income securities. And it is one of the safest. Commodities means gold, silver, or any other commodity. It can be an agricultural commodity also. So that is ETF. So, you should not put all your eggs in one basket. You should diversify your portfolio. And how you will diversify it, I will let you know in the coming series. What is wealth management? To create your wealth, to protect it, to grow, to manage your taxes, to plan for your retirement, and to plan for your estate and succession plans. Right? And for that, you have to increase your earning capacity. You have to save consistently. You have to invest for the long term. You have to diversify your investments or portfolio. You have to protect your assets. So now let's check what is diversification. Diversification is when you are spreading your investments across different assets. For example, some of your money is invested in equity, some of your money is invested in debt, and some of your money you have invested in gold, real estate, and other liquid investments. Why it is required? As you can see, that these commodities, gold and silver, they are inversely related to these equity market. जब भी स्टॉक मार्केट ऊपर जाएगी, गोल्ड और सिल्वर के प्राइसेस नीचे गिर जाएंगे. अभी जो प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो है, अभी लेटेस्ट अगर मैं बात करूं तो गोल्ड और सिल्वर के प्राइसेस में बहुत हाइक आई थी, बट एकदम से सिल्वर और गोल्ड के प्राइसेस गिर गए थे. राइट. और अब अगर मैं देखूं तो गोल्ड और सिल्वर के प्राइसेस नीचे आ गए हैं, तो स्टॉक मार्केट ऊपर चली गई है. इवन आप शुगर के प्राइसेस कंपेयर कीजिए, it was 40 rupees and now it's 80 rupees. How much prices have increased? So we have to consider our economic circumstances also. What is going on in the economy, right? So you have to put your eggs in different investments so that if there is downfall on one side, it can be compensated by the upward movement in other things, right? So you should diversify your portfolio, right? Gold is very safe asset, real estate is also very safe, but equity and debt, it's giving you returns, but it is riskier, but you should invest. After diversification is smart asset allocation, how you are investing, how you're allocating your funds in different investments, either it is stock, bonds, or other alternatives, so that you want to maximize your return and you want to minimize your risk, right? If I talk about personal finance life cycle, there are 3 stages. First stage is when we are very young adults, when we don't have any family responsibilities, when we are just enjoying our life. At that time, at the age of 15 or 20, we should know how to save our money, what type of consumption patterns you're following, right? At that time, just start getting financial education. If I talk about, I'm teaching in a college, and if I talk about the students, these days the students are so mature that now only they are investing in share market and SIPs. They are managing their funds efficiently at the age of 15 to 20 years. But at our time, we were not having knowledge about these things, right? So for students, we should get financial awareness. And as a young professional, when we are young, we should start saving amount and we should start making some investments. And when we are having our family, when we are forming our family, then we should start taking insurance for our family. So at this stage in family formation and family development, you should take insurance, right? And at this time, the income is, increasing at every stage. Then comes stage 2 with the family, that is family maturity. At that time, you have built sufficient investments, you have accumulated wealth, but you should preserve that. You should know how to grow that wealth. Example, if I talk about in bank accounts, mostly no nominees have been appointed by majority of the people, and it is the biggest mistake they are doing. You must appoint nominee, whether it is your bank account, whether it is your mutual funds or any sort of investment. Check your nominees. That is the biggest mistake, right? And the third thing is retirement. When each one of us want a peaceful life to enjoy, right? So you should build sufficient corpus till that stage through investments, through savings, through your hard work, right? Next stage is steps in budgeting, saving, protecting, investing, and then growing. And what is the strategy? First is budgeting. Budgeting means how you're tracking your income and expenses every month. You're making a list of that. Second is building your emergency funds. That is basically 6 months of your salary should be kept aside for your emergency needs. And third is insurance. You should take health and term insurance. Fourth is debt management. If you have taken a loan or anything, you should clear it first. And then start investing and build a long-term corpus for your retirement. And after every 1 year, you have to review your portfolio. That what you want, what is your financial goal, and what are you going towards. Okay, if there is some sort of variance in your portfolio, try to rebalance it. And most important thing, we should not chase quick returns. Some people are very, aggressive. They want to make aggressive investments so that, in market, example, if I talk about stock trading, there is a frequent stock trading. What does it mean? When the prices fall for particular share, people are just like, we have to sell that because it's giving us losses. No, we should hold that. In the long run, it will give you profits. So that frequent selling out and buying out, that is harmful. Second is FNO, speculations, future and options. Some schemes, they give you 2 times the return. They give you triple amount you have invested. Don't fall into such traps. Example, crypto. Right? So you should learn when you are required to borrow funds, what type of assets you are purchasing, how much emergency fund you are creating for your family in the long run, how much health insurance or term insurance is required, by each of us. So basically, there are 3 C's for each one of us. First is consistency. We should make regular contribution to these funds. Second is commitment. Commitment means whenever market cycles are very volatile. So that doesn't mean that you should withdraw all your funds from that. Hold it and be a regular investor. Confidence. You should trust your plan, not the noise of the people. Downturns can be easily balanced in the long run, right? And this is the rule, that is 15% saving rule. Whatever gross income is yours, you should at least save 15% annually. If you are at the age of 35 years, you should save at least 1.5 times of your salary, annual salary, right? If I talk about these benchmarks, if you are at the age of 35, you should save at least 1 to 1.5 times of your annual salary. If you are at the age of 50, you should have savings at least 6 to 8 times of your annual salary. And if you are over and above the age of 60 years, you should have at least 10 to 12 times of your annual salary. So this is basically retirement saving benchmarks by your age, right? You can analyze yourself that where you stand today, at what age, and how much savings you have made till now, how much wealth you have created till now. And if you haven't started yet, you can start now. And you should invest in those securities which have negative correlation. Negative correlation means, example, the prices of gold are rising, stock market will fall. They're negatively correlated. Why you should invest in negative correlated securities? Because if one is going up, if one is going down, other can go up and balance your portfolio. So to minimize your risk, you should invest in negative correlated security. And you should invest in multiple assets, not a single asset. You should not entirely depend upon a single investment, right? You should diversify it in multiple assets. Now, what is your weekly plan? What is your weekly action? Wealth is not built overnight. It takes weeks, months, years. So start investing now. Review your savings. Rebalance your portfolio now. So what are the key takeaways from today's session is, first, create a realistic budget. Second, invest according to your goals and your risk tolerance capacity, how much risk you can bear. Third is saving before unnecessary spending. Fourth is you have to diversify your investments. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Invest in different assets. Fifth is protect your wealth through insurance, whether it is property insurance, life insurance, car insurance. And sixth is start early and benefit from compounding. So that's it. So financial freedom depends not only on how much you earn, but on how efficiently you manage, protect, and grow your money. So personal finance is a continuous process of planning, saving, investing, and reviewing. Thank you for your attention. If you have any Q&A, do let me know.
Thank you, Amarjit ma'am.
Thank
It
you
was
so
very
much, sir.
systematic presentation
Thank you
and
so much,
gives
sir.
very important information about the investment, risk, where to start, in which age will we start, how to keep our eggs in all baskets, not a single. And it was very effective presentation, because we manage money is important, because we earn money but we forget to manage. And at that time, how it will be, how various plans are useful for us. So you have explained very perfectly. Thank you, ma'am. And those who are present here, all participants are requested to fill the feedback link, because if you fill the feedback link, you can get your certificate. Now the session is open for the discussion. You can ask your questions to our speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
May I talk, sir? Dr. Betkar, sir?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Betkar, sir, for providing the very informative session in terms of economics. Today, I'm very grateful to ma'am because I learned a new lesson. Every time I spend that, I do not think about how much hours I did a hard work for that. But from today, I will think about that. So it is a very nice session. And I have one question to ask madam. Is it okay, ma'am, to invest in gold?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So can you tell about more about government securities, ma'am? What types are there, and how we can invest into that?
If I talk about gold, there is a sovereign gold bonds. That is a government security. And if I think physically, if we are buying gold, that is ineffective. We should buy gold bonds. If the value of gold is appreciating in the long run, the value of that gold bonds will increase. Plus, they will be giving you some interest also, right? So, if you want to invest in gold, you can purchase sovereign gold bonds or other, gold ETFs.
Yeah.
If I talk about mutual funds.
Yeah, can you tell about, ma'am, gold ETF? Because sovereign gold bonds are right now, it is not available from the government, because from 2024 it is the government of India stopped that, because the government is in loss. Because of that, the gold prices are so high. So government is having that burden of that government bonds, sovereign gold bonds. That's why it has stopped. Can you tell about ETF gold bonds that we can invest into that? Names of that?
Yes, sir. If you're investing in mutual funds, right, there are certain mutual funds which are related to gold. If you will search in mutual funds, there will be some mutual funds which are investing in gold. You can purchase from them. There is, lump sum investment also, and there is SIP also in gold. Even I have purchased also.
Can you tell ma'am some of the names, because names are very important. If you search on the net, you will not get the perfect information or government securities, and also on the particular app also you will not get particular information. So that is very important, because there are some online classes regarding to the share market, but they will not tell the bond names in online classes also, because they are confidential. They will, if you pay for payment for that, they will tell that reveal the names, and they will give the links only.
Sure, sir, but I will not promote any specific gold fund here. Example, you can purchase Tata Gold ETF, FOF, for growth.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So that fund is very nice if you want to invest in gold.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
And even some silver ETFs are also there, right? So you can purchase if you want. You're welcome, sir. Any other query?
Thank you, Rajesh sir, for discussing fruitfully, because we also learn so many things from your discussion. So this is the very effective session for the finance, on the subject of finance. Now I request Javeer Singh ji, you can explain please.
जी सभी को नमस्ते और रक्षाबंधन के पावन अवसर की सभी को ढेर शुभकामनाएं। मैडम, मेरा एक सवाल है कि जब फाइनेंस की बात प्लानिंग की, एक सबसे बड़ी समस्या व्यक्ति के जीवन में घर की होती है।
Yes,
कि एक पीढ़ी में एक परंपरा चली आई, एक पीढ़ी में जरूरी है। अगर हमारे नहीं पड़ेगा, क्योंकि
so your voice is cracking.
जी अभी आ रही है आवाज?
हाँ सर, अभी आ रही है।
हर पीढ़ी में एक घर बांधना जरूरी होता है। अगर हमारे पिताजी ने घर बांधा है तो हमें भी 40 से 50 साल का एक गैप रहता है फिर हमें बांधना होगा, और जब हमारे बच्चे होंगे जब वे 50-60 साल के होंगे तो उनके टाइम में भी बंधेगा, क्योंकि घर बनाना 50 साल से 60 साल की उम्र होती है घर की, जैसे कहते हैं। तो आज के आधुनिक युग में हर कोई अलग घर बनाना चाहता है, तो उसको प्लानिंग के नजरिए से कैसे देखते हैं कि फाइनेंस से सभी फाइनेंस करते हैं, तो कितना सही है, लोन के ऊपर कितना सही मानते हैं और कैसे देखती हैं आप?
सर अगर मैं घर के बारे में बोलूं तो देखिए, घर प्रॉपर्टी एक ऐसी चीज है जो सभी के साथ एप्रिशिएट हुई है, उसकी मतलब वैल्यू आज अगर मैं कंपेयर करूं तो बड़ी ही बड़ी है, कभी भी प्रॉपर्टी की वैल्यू नीचे नहीं आई। इंडियन इकोनॉमी में, हमारी इकोनॉमी में अभी तक अगर आप प्रॉपर्टी के रेट देखोगे कितने हाई हो चुके हैं। हमारे जमाने में प्रॉपर्टी 2 लाख 3 लाख में आ जाती थी, और आजकल की प्रॉपर्टी अगर मैं दिल्ली एनसीआर में बात करूं 1-2 CR से नीचे है ही नहीं। तो प्रॉपर्टी एक ऐसी चीज है जिसकी वैल्यू समय के साथ बढ़ती ही बढ़ती है। अगर आप लोन ले रहे हैं, सपोज आप एक घर बनाने के लिए लोन ले रहे हैं, तो लोन में आप रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आपको जो पड़ता है, इंटरेस्ट 8 से 9% पड़ता है, या 10% मैक्सिमम अगर हम लेके चले, तो आप उस पर इंटरेस्ट दे रहे हैं। लोगों को लगता है कि प्रॉपर्टी पे हम लोन लेके गलती कर रहे हैं, पर नहीं। अगर आप प्रॉपर्टी पे लोन लेके इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, वही आप जो आपने प्रॉपर्टी में इन्वेस्टमेंट करी है वो लॉन्ग रन में एक तो आपको कैपिटल गेन देगी, क्योंकि उसी प्रॉपर्टी की वैल्यू आप देखेंगे आने वाले 5 या 10 सालों में बहुत बढ़ जाएगी। जितना आपने इंटरेस्ट पे किया उससे बहुत ज्यादा। सेकेंडली, आप उसी प्रॉपर्टी को अगर रेंट पे देते हैं तो जितना आपने इंटरेस्ट पे करा है उतना आपको रेंट उससे ज्यादा मिल जाएगा। और अगर मान लीजिए रेंटल इनकम भी नहीं आती, आपको रेंट किराया भी नहीं आता, तो आपको कैपिटल गेन तो हो रहा है, आपकी जो वैल्यू है प्रॉपर्टी की वो अप्रिशिएट हो रही है। तो आप अगर चाहे तो प्रॉपर्टी पे अगर लोन ले रहे हैं तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, अगर आपके पास सफिशिएंट फंड्स नहीं है। अब कुछ लोगों को मैंने पर्सनली अपनी लाइफ में देखा है जिन्होंने क्या किया, एक प्रॉपर्टी ली, लोन पे किया, उसको सेल आउट करा, दूसरी प्रॉपर्टी ली, और प्रॉपर्टी के सेलिंग और बाइंग से ही उन्होंने अपनी इतनी वेल्थ क्रिएट कर ली है। क्योंकि अगर हम लोन ले रहे हैं कार के लिए, आईफोन के लिए, तो वो नहीं लेना चाहिए, लेकिन प्रॉपर्टी के लिए लोन ले रहे हैं तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। अगर आपके पास फंड्स नहीं है तो, अगर फंड्स हैं तो आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि 40% अपना पैसा लगा सकते हैं और 60% आप लोन ले सकते हैं अपनी कैपेसिटी के अकॉर्डिंग।
जैसे मैडम सोसाइटी बनती है शहरों में, उसकी एक लाइफ 40 साल से अधिकतम 50 साल उम्र है उसकी। अब जैसे फ्लैट के रेट तो बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, जब एक जो 4 मंजिल या 5 मंजिल बिल्डिंग है, ठीक है, उसको 10 मंजिल या 12 मंजिल कर सकते हैं, लेकिन जो ऑलरेडी 30-30 मंजिल है तब उसको 40 साल बाद तोड़ के निकालेंगे और फिर वहां पर खड़ा करेंगे, तो उसकी वैल्यू क्या कहेगी तब? हाँ जी, तब वहां हम सोचते हैं। तो
ठीक है सर, फ्लैट्स की बात अगर मैं करूं तो मैं खुद फ्लैट्स में रह रही हूँ, ठीक है, 11th फ्लोर पे हूँ मैं, ठीक है। नॉर्मली जैसे फ्लैट्स हैं तो इसकी भी 100 years नॉर्मली है ना। अगर बात करूं आप 40 years जैसे ले रहे हैं तो मैं 40 years ले सकती हूँ। 40 year के बाद आप वो फ्लैट अगर वो तोड़ के न्यू बनवाते हैं तब भी वो प्रॉपर्टी पे जो फ्लैट बनेगा वो आपका ही रहेगा, बस आपको कुछ चार्जेस और पे करने पड़ेंगे उस टाइम पे, राइट। लेकिन वो प्रॉपर्टी आपकी ही रहेगी लॉन्ग रन में। आप उसको चाहें तो आप सेल आउट कर सकते हैं, आपका वहां पे कोई लॉस नहीं है।
तो फ्लैट में और खुद के प्लॉट में आप कौन से करती हैं?
सर अगर फ्लैट और प्लॉट की बात करूं तो प्लॉट्स ज्यादा अच्छे हैं, लेकिन अगर हम बॉम्बे दिल्ली एरियाज में रह रहे हैं तो वहां पे आप खुद सोच सकते हो इतनी हमारे पास अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ लैंड, जमीन की अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं है, तो वहां पे हमें फ्लैट्स में ही इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ेगा। क्योंकि अगर हम सोचते हैं कि जैसे आज की पीढ़ी है तो वो नॉर्मली आप देखोगे फ्लैट्स सिस्टम चल रहा है आजकल, है ना। तो दोनों ही अपनी जगह पे ज्यादा बेटर है, पर अगर हम प्लॉट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं वो ज्यादा बेटर है।
जी सही कहा आपने। और जैसे दिल्ली में अभी सोसाइटी का अभी आया है, नोएडा से शुरू हुआ, दिल्ली में तो होती नहीं थी सोसाइटी, द्वारका में और इधर सबसे पहले रोहिणी में आई थी, और कॉलोनियाँ ही ज़्यादा है वहाँ पर। तो धन्यवाद मैडम, आपने बहुत अच्छी जानकारी साझा की, धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir.
Could I talk?
धन्यवाद जयवीर। यस सर।
Sure, sir.
एक्चुअली जो प्लॉट्स होते हैं वो दूसरे शहरों में मिल जाते हैं, क्योंकि दिल्ली या फिर मुंबई जैसे शहरों में नहीं मिलते। एज अ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लॉट आप दूसरे शहरों में ले सकते हो, और उसको जब इन्वेस्टमेंट का वैल्यू बढ़ जाएगा उसको आप बाद में बेच सकते हो। तो ये एक बढ़िया ऑप्शन है। एक्चुअली अगर फ्लैट अगर खरीद रहे हो तो उसका लाइफ तो सीमेंट का 70 ईयर्स रहता है। तो आपके 70 ईयर्स में आपके जो जनरेशन है उसकी जनरेशन नेक्स्ट आ जाएंगी। वो टाइम पे क्या होगा, वो टाइम पे क्या टाइम कैसे प्लॉट्स होंगे, या फिर वो टाइम पे क्या होगा आप नहीं बोल सकते। लेकिन रियल टाइम में अभी जो ये करना है, इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है, तो प्लॉट सबसे अच्छा रहेगा। और मैं कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ मैम, ये जो गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज होता है तो उसमें ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट रेट नहीं रहता है, 5 पॉइंट समथिंग रहता है। लेकिन एफडी में 7-8% हो जाता है। तो उसमें गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी अच्छा है या फिर एफडी अच्छा रहेगा मैम?
सर, अगर आपको एफडी पे ज्यादा रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट मिल रहा है तो एफडी ज्यादा बेटर है। पर कुछ गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज ऐसी भी है जो हाई रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट देती हैं, तो आप उसमें इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो। क्योंकि कुछ अमाउंट ऑफ, अगर मैं चाहती हूँ कि कुछ अमाउंट हमारा शेयर्स में, कुछ म्यूचुअल फंड्स में, तो कुछ सेफर ऑप्शंस में भी होना चाहिए, जैसे गोल्ड, एफडी। कुछ अमाउंट आपको उसमें भी रखना चाहिए। ऐसे नहीं कि एंटायर आपको अमाउंट जो है वो शेयर मार्केट में ही लगाना है।
एक क्वेश्चन था मैम, अपने हेल्थ के हिसाब से हमें टर्म इंश्योरेंस लेना चाहिए, तो कौन सा भी कंपनी हो उसमें टर्म इंश्योरेंस क्या लेना चाहिए? क्योंकि उसमें 1 करोड़ 1.5 करोड़ बोलते हैं, लेकिन एक्चुअली हम अगर क्रिटिकल इलनेस से गुजर रहे हैं या फिर कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा तो क्लेम कर नहीं होता है, फिर हॉस्पिटल में उसका कोई क्या मतलब वो सेटलमेंट नहीं होता है। तो ऐसे बहुत प्रॉब्लम है। तो उसमें क्या करना चाहिए मैम, लेना चाहिए नहीं लेना चाहिए?
सर, जब भी आप हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस जिस हेल्थ कंपनी, मतलब जिस भी कंपनी से आप ले रहे हो, पहले वेरीफाई करिए, डिटेल्स एनालाइज करिए कि आप हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस किससे ले रहे हैं। फीडबैक लोगों का देखिए, रिव्यू सुनिए, और उसके बाद उस कंपनी से हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लीजिए।
तो कोई अच्छी कंपनी अच्छा दे रही है तो क्या उसे लेना चाहिए? क्योंकि 1 करोड़ 1.5 करोड़ वो मिलता है क्या मैम? क्योंकि उतना अगर 10-20 लाख रुपए खर्च हो गया तो उतने मिलते हैं, या फिर उसका सक्सेस रेट क्या होता है? तो फिर इससे कुछ क्लेम्स ज्यादा नहीं होते, क्योंकि ऐसा मैंने सुना है कि बहुत सारे टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस होते हैं।
सर, बहुत सारे टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस होते हैं जो आम पब्लिक को पता नहीं होता है। तो जैसे आप नॉमिनी की मैंने बात करी है ना, ऐसे कुछ और फॉर्मेलिटीज भी होती हैं जो हमें कंप्लीट करनी होती हैं व्हाइल टेकिंग दीज हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस। तो इन सारी फॉर्मेलिटीज।
थैंक यू।
Thank you, Rajeshwar Katre sir, for joining and discussing with our speaker. Thank you to also जयवीर सिंह जी, आपने बहुत अच्छी चर्चा यहाँ की वाली है। फ्लैट अच्छा है या प्लॉट अच्छा है, ये पीढ़ी अगली कैसे उसमें हर पीढ़ी को कैसे घर बनते समय लोन क्या प्रावधान है। सो ये सब बातें हमें बहुत ही यूजफुल है, क्योंकि यहाँ के कुछ कम एज के हैं, कुछ ज्यादा मीडियम एज के और कुछ रिटायरमेंट के, सभी के लिए आज का स्पीच। तो आज से ही हम अच्छी इन्वेस्टमेंट करना, प्लानिंग करना शुरू कर देंगे, जो कि हमें भविष्य हमारा अच्छा सिक्योर हो। थैंक यू मैम, आपने अपना मूल्यवान टाइम हमारे लिए दिया, इनविटेशन एक्सेप्ट किया है। अगले सेशन में भी आप ऐसी फाइनेंस की बातें पर हमें आपका समय देंगी, तो कभी तो जैसे आपको अवेलेबिलिटी है ऐसे हम आपको इनवाइट करेंगे। थैंक यू मैम।
Sure, sir. I would love to. And thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you all participants, those who are here. Kindly fill the feedback link to receive your certificates. Those, especially those who are new today, joined on behalf of today's speaker, Amrita Kaur ma'am. They also requested to fill the feedback link so that they will also receive the certificate. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.